What's up, everybody? It's Friday night, 9 o'clock from the forum, and we are here. We got a show for you tonight. We're talking the end of the preseason, and it's shaking up. New contracts, big trades. So what do we do with fantasy? We'll talk tonight as we get ready for week 1. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Cheers. Got my guy Joe, Sam, and Steve in the house tonight. Man, off season is shaking.
And it's almost over. Thank God.
It's almost over, yeah. I know everybody's excited. Next week we'll actually have some NFL games. I don't know about you guys, but I've been binge watching college football. And I'm talking about no names. I'm watching the game, teams that
respect the MAC, baby. Respect the MAC. Thursday night action is too nice with it.
It's been rough. But we have right now Auburn, Baylor going on, and I didn't check the score, but when I left, Auburn's quarterback had just rushed for a touchdown. So super pumped about college football, super pumped about the NFL. Got Brent in the chat. What's up? Ready for NFL season? Kevin, yo, thanks for tuning in. Guys, every week during the season, this is your Q&A show. We are here. I bring on superstar analysts like Sam, like Steve, to answer your questions. And so feel free, drop them in during the chat, hit the like button. We will try to make sure yours get answered. And I'm going to start off by going over to Fantasy Sports Advice. FantasySportsAdvice.network and getting a question from the chat over there, which kind of ties into these off-season narratives. And Ty Racino, he said, seriously, someone dropped Matthew Golden to waivers. Is the move to drop Dobbins or Jacori Croskey-Merritt for him? Here's the squad. And he does show his team, pretty good team here. But I mean, in general, obviously JCM has gone nuts. His ADP has doubled. He was like a round 16 pick.
16 spots in the last 7 days.
Yeah, and now he's going I've seen him going round 8. I've seen him going as early as round
4.
And so, this being the narrative, one, I don't know that he's even a drop option, but and I'll throw it to you, Steve. I know you can kind of be on volatile sides of these things, but is it just too much hype or is he the real deal? Of course you're dropping probably one of these to get Matthew Golden, but what's your take on this question and what's your take on JCM?
All right, so I'll start with the question. To me, the clear answer is to drop Dobbins, not JCM. I am kind of in on the bill on Capitol Hill. I like JCM a little bit, maybe not 4th round a lot, but I like him. Matthew Golden clears both of them, right? Let's be upfront. Matthew Golden, you got to drop one of them, but it's Dobbins, right? We saw Dobbins play about as healthy as he's probably ever going to play in the NFL for the Chargers last year. And they still were we'd rather Najee Harris, and just sent him off into the stratosphere. We're goodbye. Thank you for what you did. Dobbins right now is made to lose, right? They want RJ Harvey. They drafted RJ Harvey for a reason. Dobbins, yes, is the starter at the moment. His job is to lose the job. JCM, they shipped Brian Robinson out of town. They have said, hey, listen, this guy popped. He had all the hype. Anyone who's trying to sell you on Chris Rodriguez, they don't want you to win. They're probably your op in some sort of way, shape, or form. Because, don't try to sell me on a guy who's been in the league for years and has a grand total of about the same number of carries as I do in the NFL. This is not a realistic threat to a starting job. JCM is clearly trending toward being the starting guy. People will be but what about Austin Eckler? What about Austin Eckler? What are you going to try? Austin Eckler. Listen, I like Austin Eckler. I think he's a good talent. I think he had his run. If you're expecting him to touch the ball 200 times, you've lost it. So it's JCM's backfield to win. They want him to take it. And on the flip side of that, it's J.K. Dobbins' backfield to lose in Denver. Drop him quickly.
So, Tyler, something I wanted to say regarding that, I couldn't see very clearly, but it looks like there was a defense on that team. Drop that defense. On Ty's team, drop that defense. Wait as long as you can. You can always get a defense that'll get you 5 to 7 points. If you have a kicker, drop the kicker. If you have a defensive player, Millie Mills, what's up, my G? Drop the kicker. Those are replaceable players. Get Matthew Golden at all costs. If it's a fab league, I'm probably throwing all $100 of my fab on that.
Yeah, I definitely want to grab Matthew Golden off waivers. And I'm with you, Steve. I think Dobbins is dispensable. I think it probably has a role pretty early. We'll see if he can hold up, but I think that's a good take. And, it is interesting. There's not very many people there. I mean, you got Eckler and like the narratives there, but JCM definitely looked explosive. Kevin in the chat saying Bill scores touchdown in opener. Let me tell you, if he scores a touchdown in the opener, the fever is it's gonna rage. Like people are
You're gonna be able to trade Bijan for him at that point.
Oh god, dude! Like if he scores a touchdown in the opener, you'll probably be able to dish him for like Travion or a first round
another player. I can't think of a player truly that had this meteoric of a rise that was like a nothing, not even someone you thought about drafting in the 16th round, that has been steamed up to, as Joe said, even a 4th round pick. I've never seen this.
The closest thing that I can think of is like Kareem Hunt's rookie year.
Yes, but he got steamed up kind of after, right? Who was Spencer Ware 1 year got really steamed up, I think, before Kareem Hunt got there too.
Yeah,
I remember
think it was
that.
The year
and
before,
then,
actually.
Yeah, like we've seen guys get steamed up after like good seasons, like good ends of years. But this is a guy who came in as like a late pick, was the 4th guy on the depth chart, and all of a sudden now it's like if you don't get him, everyone's like, oh, you don't know anything about football. You didn't draft JCM. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this guy. I'm so confused.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam? You
I
agreement?
think that no, I'm not. I think I can't pluck the names just right out of the air, but every year there's somebody that all the analysts fall in love with, and consequently all the fans fall in love with them too. And they have a good game or two in the preseason against whatever the competition is, whether they're playing a bunch of second or third stringers. GCM, I mean, the things that are notable about him are all true. He cuts great. He's got a nice burst of speed through the line. He sees the second level really well. So when he's alone in the field, he can make guys miss. But I'm a little concerned, man. He didn't play much college ball, and he's 24 years old. And that rubs me the wrong way. You know what I mean? And he didn't play last year at all. Apparently his conditioning looks all right. But seeing him overtake Chris Rodriguez in Washington actually would surprise me. I think Rodriguez has the better build for that style of play, to just be mashing it in there. And I agree with what Steve said about Eckler. Eckler's head he's riding off into the sunset as we speak. But he's still going to be a part of it too. Regardless, that's a 3-headed backfield. They're going to use all 3 of them. I don't think that is the case in Denver. I think it's going to be a 50-50 split for the first half of the year. So yeah, what Joe said about the defense, I agree. But if I was forced to make the decision between the two, I'm dropping Jacori Croskey-Merritt.
Hey, look, I love the different take. I am I am in disagreement with that, but that's okay. And it's just like I think that JCM, if he plays last season, there's a totally different, draft arena for him. And I think somebody just got to get the talent that we all knew was there if you've been following through college. And so I think he has potential. Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have let B Rob go. Like that, I think that's really the telltale. Like, they had B Rob on.
Well, they got rid of B Rob's contract situation. I don't know if you saw it. So he got like less than $1 million for his first 3 years, and then this final year of his rookie deal, he got $3 million. So it was a very easy. Hey, we need to pay Terry. We can replace him. He's okay.
They weren't short on. They weren't short. They weren't short on cap space. They spent like none of it.
Yeah, and what's $3 million in the realm of a starting running back? Like, that's cheap labor.
They never had any intention of bringing him back next season anyway. So
I don't think so either. Don't think he was going to get paid.
But if you were playing for a championship, which the Commanders are, right? Like they're not going into the season being like, well, we'll throw it away. You're not trading your starting running back where all this noise is around this backup for Chris Rodriguez, right? Like there's no way this is for Chris Rodriguez and Austin Eckler. And I know that because they were there last year. If they were going to make noise and run B-Rob out of town, they would have already done it. All of a sudden, JCM shows up, and then B-Rob's the backup to Christian McCaffrey. Listen, I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do. All right? Actions always speak louder than words.
That's real.
I watch what they do. Hey, look, we're gonna keep moving. Millie Mills dropped a question in the chat. Appreciate you, Millie. Thanks for tuning in. Real quick, Jamie, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Jamie.
Popping in after bedtime. Appreciate the love.
His sleep schedule's got to be out of whack after the 24-hour stream.
I know, right? So Millie said he just did a 16-man PPR snake draft from pick 6. Pulled Gibbs. Awesome that Gibbs fell down to the 6th. K9, Charbonnet, Warren, Evans, Sutton, Egbuka, Pittman, Penix, Fergie, Jaden Higgins, and Tillman. What are y'all's thoughts? I really like this build.
For 16, that's sick.
For a 16-team league, that is pretty impressive.
Mills, tell your friends to give me a call. I'm looking for another league. I'm interested because that's dope. For 16, that's insane.
He said every running back is replaceable. I think this is back to the B-Rob conversation, but every running back is replaceable, in my opinion, especially if they can't run a route and catch, except King Henry. B-Rob can actually catch the football pretty well, so I don't think that that's necessarily a part of it. But back to your team, I like the team. I like that you got a at running back. I feel like you got an A or a future A at receiver. Probably a couple there. I mean, I think it's a good build. Definitely waited late on quarterback.
Can I ask a question? Can Bill Merritt run out and catch a pass?
I'm sure he can. I mean, I think they all can. It's just they have Eckler for that.
I mean, he caught 7 in college.
Yeah, well,
I don't think they're really worried about that. I think it's like it's kind of the B-Rob. B-Rob caught the ball inconsequentially. Like he was out there, he got catches when it wasn't really supposed to be him, like dump offs.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not an amazing pass catcher either. I'm just saying.
And that was the replace, right? Like they do have Eckler. Like, so we'll see. I mean, to be determined how good Jacori Croskey-Merritt's hands are. A lot of that comes in usage. I don't know what the ratio of targets to catches were for him on those, but who knows? I mean, NFL, everything changes, right? Like, I mean, everybody, I don't know if, I mean, obviously he didn't last that long, but, back when James Robinson came into the league, and like he popped off year one, like sometimes people just surprise you and sometimes people excel in the NFL. When they get the opportunity. And so we'll see. For me, in redraft, if I have to choose between like a Dobbins who like in that roster, I feel like I can win the first half or at least end 50-50. So then it's about the second half. I need to win as many games in the second half in the playoffs as I can. And I think to me, that's the trade-off. Like I think JK is a first half of the season guy. Jacori is probably a second half of the season guy. And so I want that high-end upside in the second half of the season. I mean, I've gone 0-6 and still gone to win the championship in the second half of the season while rookies and players develop into what we know they can be. So
that's actually crazy going 0-6 and then turning around and winning it. Like,
Hey,
how
man.
mad was your league? Like they had it.
Dude, and it was a 12-team league. It was awesome. Okay,
I didn't mean to bring the conversation back to.
It's okay. It's
JCM.
a hot topic right now.
I'm just pointing out the fact that I feel like every time I look deeper into him, I find something else that I'm not a fan of. But I'm ready to be proven wrong. Totally.
Well, I think the thing
He will
between
be.
the two of them is that if like Dobbins, you know what's going to happen. We know at some point that Harvey is going to take over. I think it happens sooner rather than later. JCM, it's kind of like I wonder what's in the box, right? It's like it could be something great, it could be something bad, but it's an unknown. And in fantasy, when you're right, when it could be the boat. And it's like if you were able to snag him late and he's a bench piece for you, you want the opportunity at a boat. You don't want an opportunity at a J.K. Dobbins.
Look, Millie said he's with you, Sam. And here's where I will say I'm with you. I'm with you in his cost now. His cost a couple weeks ago when he was 16, sure. His cost now, I'm out. You know,
me too.
And so like I do agree there. Got Zaire Thorley over on Twitch. What's up? 10-man, Dak, Bucky, Jay Jettis, London, Connor, Marv, Kincaid, Judy, RJ Harvey, Golden, Javonte Fields. Any thoughts or opinions about it? I think it's a great roster.
Find a real tight.
I don't think I've done it on this show yet, but I have on pretty much every other podcast I've ever guested on this offseason. I must be the single lowest analyst in the world on Drake London. I am like team anti-Drake London. Drake London to me is the prime example of a guy who was absolutely buoyed by like false like promises. Like it just was like these games that popped out of nowhere. Like he would either go for like 40 yards or 150, like 3 times in the year. He went for like 150 yards and like 2 touchdowns. And it just like caused such a weird like thing to happen in the fantasy community where we've lost our minds on Drake London. This is a guy who 2 years ago ranked second worst in the NFL at separation. Yards per like route run of separation. He was the second worst of any wide receiver in the NFL. Second worst. This guy cannot separate. That is the number one thing you have to be able to do as a wide receiver. And no one is even seeming to pay any attention to the fact that a really bad route runner is like being driven up to like mid-second round draft picks. And and again, I know I can be harsh in my fantasy analysis. I feel the same way about Marv. Marv is not a good route runner. That's the number one problem with Marv.
Because he was supposed to be the perfect wide receiver coming out of college.
He was supposed to be, but even when you watch him at Ohio State, he was not a good route runner. He doesn't have a good route tree. And then they're like, look how Buffy got in the offseason. Who
in Arizona, they don't give him a route tree. They just
the route tree is how.
Great.
Well, the route tree is what can Kyler Murray at 5'6" see over the offensive line? Run that.
But like, are we like realistically? Is this like a censored show? Do I have to like censor myself on this?
Yes.
Don't say the F word.
We are on the radio.
All right, what goes on the radio? I'll behave. Marvin Harrison Jr. People are like he was supposed to be I'm like, why? Because his dad was. Like that's the thing.
His dad killed like one guy.
If this guy's name was like Jimmy John, the wide receiver, like
the sub guy,
he would have never
does he make
gone.
Sandwiches?
He would have never gone before Malik Neighbors. He never should have. That was an absolute mistake that everyone should have seen coming. But because it was Marvin Harrison Jr. and everyone was like, oh, but look what he did. It's like everyone at Ohio State does great. Every wide receiver at Ohio State does great. They play a bunch of clown colleges like 8 times a year, beat them up for a while. And I'm saying this standing in Cleveland. I'm in Buckeye country. They beat up on a bunch of clown schools and Perkins School for the Blind and a whole bunch of other schools that come in. And like they run their stats through like the roof. And then everyone's like, why didn't they work out? What do you mean why didn't they work out? They were playing high schoolers.
The chat's
who was Croskey-Merritt playing?
Well, he played in Arizona.
I didn't draft him at the 6th pick or the 4th pick or whatever he was picked at. Like I didn't pick him in the early first round.
Okay, fair enough.
Look, this is so we getting some chat. School for the Blind, people laughing. Look, clown college is this guy ranting from BHS Cardinal. That's amazing. Millie said, "Don't disrespect his Falcons."
But he said it's okay if you talk about Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, go Yachty, sup boys. I will kind of wrap this up. One, I'll say I don't mind.
I do think it's a good squad though.
The squad's good. Like London, sure, as your wide receiver 2, I'll take it. For the up games, for the mid-tier games, as your wide receiver 2 behind JJ, sure,
that's nice. Right?
Like, okay, and I mean, excellent. I think that it's going to be different with a Michael Penix, hyper targeting him, But I didn't take London in any of my dynasty leagues. Not that I hate him, I just but to get to the question, 10-man league, I think you built a strong team. I think you capitalized on some good young players, getting RJ Harvey and Matthew Golden there late.
I like the weight on Dak too. I like that. And I think he could have a big season.
Too. It looks like he grabbed Justin Fields too.
So I got to get here and get this other question here. It's got one from Kanoa Built. When Bijan Gibbs, Saquon is off the board, which running back would you take next? And I know mine and Joe's answer to this is the same. And I don't care how many knees and ankles.
Just lean this way a little bit.
Yeah, hold on.
Other way. There we go.
There you go. I'm taking McCaffrey at the 4. And I don't know, just on upside alone, I don't know how you get away from it for anybody after him.
I do.
Who?
Can I throw a name out there to you guys? It's Devon Achane. That's the next.
Does the injury not worry you at all?
No, it does. No more than McCaffrey's does. Listen, you can use the injury argument.
I'm genuinely asking.
No,
I don't.
You know what? So I'll actually speak to this as a from the medical side, because that's what I do in my day job. I'm a emergency nurse. So it doesn't worry me as much because it seems like he's healed. It seems like they've just been more cautious than anything else. Like they're holding him out a little bit longer, but there was never any indication that he was going to miss the season. This wasn't like a last second, will he not, or miss the first game even. So I'm really fine with that. When Tua was healthy, that's really the injury I have to worry about with Achane is Tua. But when he was healthy, and I can't assume Tua is going to be up, he was the RB1. Yeah, he was the RB1. He's such a PPR nightmare for people. And he only has to touch the ball legitimately 15 times a game to give you RB1 production. So for me, I will take that over CMC, who I am a little worried about him. I just don't know how long he's going to be able to stay elite, dealing with the injuries that he's dealt with over and over and over again. At some point, it does come back to haunt you. They went and got Brian Robinson, who I do not believe is a great running back. But the fact that they were like, you know what? Let's go get a starting caliber guy that could realistically take a lot of touches. That is telling, I think. Anytime Achilles are involved in anything, and I know it was just kind of like tendonitis and stuff like that, that is worrisome for a guy who puts so much torque on his body. Those things, when they start to go, it's kind of like a very fast downfall.
Yeah, I think, the point that I made most of the offseason was the word degenerative being in there is not good. You know what I mean? It means it's not going to get better. It's only going to keep getting worse. However, I have done a complete 180. I have changed my tune, and it's primarily because of what Tyler said. It's just, it's almost like I feel like if I get him and I get the McCaffrey from 2 years ago, I'd win the league. Like, it's like they might as well all quit because I win. But if he gets hurt again and misses a bunch of games, then at least I don't know. I can say, I risked it for the biscuit,
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but
that's what it is. It's a gamble. Like it's a gamble, period. I mean, any year where he's played at least 16 games minus his rookie season, he's finished RB1 or RB2 in fantasy. So
how many years was that now?
4.
How many years has he played in the NFL?
He's got 5 out of 8 top 10 seasons.
And lately it's been like I'm hurt for 2 years, then I'm healthy and have a really good year.
Yeah, he missed it. Like there was 3 seasons where he missed over half the season. But other than that, every season he's been top 10, if not top 2.
So he's played 8 years, and 3 of them he's missed half the season.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It is interesting though, Steve, that you say that like you're like talking about like Achilles. Like, so I'm a big basketball fan, and so when you have a calf injury, like guys that try to play on calf injuries, it leads to Achilles injuries. So it's like that is the concern with me with Achane. I think them saying that he's ready to go week 1 makes me feel better about it because I was very bullish on him. But whenever that first dropped, I was like, ooh, like, is this going to become an Achilles thing if they're not careful?
Well, so Achane, here's let me just tie this in real quick as far as like healthy seasons. So like, you look at the people that we're talking about, right? Like Achane has played 2 seasons. He's only played 1 full season, and he was banged up most of that season and missed time during games for him. Barkley, Saquon has only managed 3 out of his 7 full seasons that he's actually completed a season. So I think it's just a running back by proxy thing. Like, you do have injuries.
Absolutely.
Right?
Running back, you really want 14 games out of. That's like the number, I feel like, where you're like, I'm happy with that.
And like, so Millie Mills down here in the chat, he said, I'm taking the king. And out of those, I would say Derrick Henry is the only one. He's not played a full season 3 times out of his 9 seasons. But
here's the thing about being a fantasy content creator: if you fade Derrick Henry enough times, eventually you will be right. It might not be for another 5 years, but if you just say like he's too old, he's had too many carries, you do whatever else, like eventually you'll be right, and then you can retweet yourself and say, "Yeah, I've been saying this."
No, look, I've been high on Derrick Henry since the move to Baltimore, especially, and I thought that the move to Baltimore would give him longevity that he wouldn't see in Tennessee. And I've said it on the show several times, and this is why I love running backs paired with running quarterbacks, despite the narrative that that's actually not profitable. And it's because like when you're a running back like Derrick Henry, you're not a sidestepper. You're a pin your ears back and go guy, right? And having a Lamar that fakes the option or that can run makes linebackers play and stay home. They can't just automatically feed to where the running back's going, which means more space, which means when Derrick Henry's running through the hole, he's getting a lot of arms instead of a lot of bodies. And Derrick Henry is running through arms. It's the space there. It's why James Conner, despite him being semi-slow and older, can be effective in Arizona, is because they have to play Kyler. Because if you don't watch Kyler, next thing you know, he's running around the end for a touchdown, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so I like Derrick Henry. I like it for that. I think that him going to Baltimore increased his NFL league lifespan. And if you had him on your team last year, you were definitely excited about that.
I agree with you. I do not. I don't buy into the running quarterbacks hurt the running back. So far as that, I don't really believe that that quarterbacks vulture touchdowns. Because I think if it wasn't a running quarterback, he would just throw it. It doesn't mean that the running back would get all those opportunities. But instead, you get down to the end zone, and what are they doing? They're looking at Lamar. They're looking at Lamar. They're looking at Lamar. And Derrick Henry just like strolls across the line, you know? Yeah, that's one. I agree with you, Tyler. That's one. One thing that I couldn't wrap my head around.
I do want to know and like just have like a lunch with Derrick Henry's high school coach, because like if you talk about like like miles on this running back, like dude was having like 600 carries a year in high school.
So keeping the conversation moving, make sure we get to all the questions, and we've got some over on the FSA site too. So just keep rolling. Travis, one of those. JJ McCarthy and Jaden Higgins for Olave, Swift, and a second. And he did say, this is my first question. He said if Superflex. Oh no, he said if Superflex, one quarterback.
That was just a response to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with those takes. In Superflex, I'm not doing the deal. Now that's like, so Steve, your take on Drake London has been my take on Swift forever. Really? I have never been a Swift guy. I've never drafted him. I've not. I mean, he was okay in Georgia, but I have just never been big because he always gets hyped up like he's going to be a top 20 back, and he finishes around 20, you know. But he's like boring. Yeah, I don't want that. Like I want high upside. I want potential, and he's only gotten over 1,000 yards one season in his career. So like I've never been big on Swift. There's also the fact, he plays the majority. It's like the boring take. It's like, I'm not excited to have Swift on my team. Like if I get Swift on my team, it's because everybody that I actually wanted, including the running backs that would have came in like the next 2 rounds, aren't there anymore because there was this crazy running back run and all that's left is Swift. And then I would probably still take a wide receiver at that point, but
Yeah, no, it makes sense, right? Like DeAndre Swift is that you go out to the bars, you're like, you're scoping, right? And all of a sudden the night gets away from you. All the pretty people get taken. They all pair up. You're left with like that 5, but it's like, it's good, right? It like gets the job done. It's not exciting, but it's like, it gets the job done.
So funny, Millie said he was okay in Philly, but that's it. So in Philly was the first season he ran over 1,000 yards, but he still finished RB20 on the season.
Yeah, it's not great, right? It's not exciting. What I will say is I'm also not a huge JJ McCarthy believer. In Superflex, I probably still hold off because like Chris Olave's brains are leaking out of his ears at this point, but like I like JJ McCarthy is just not the guy that I'm like super in on.
So the debate that
I like JJ, but I am very since we're all talking about people we don't like, I can't stand Chris Olave. I mean, the guy gets a headache, like, and you're like, career's over. But I'm not trading for him. I haven't drafted him. I don't seek him out. I avoid him. He's on my personal do not draft list. So I certainly don't want the Olave and Swift side.
I don't want any of these players
of that deal.
Like I don't want any of this.
I'm fine in Superflex. I want to keep McCarthy and Higgins. Otherwise, like for me, this is not a trade I'm seeking out. If it pops in my inbox, I'm keeping McCarthy and Higgins for now. I think that McCarthy's talent around him at the wide receiver room will make up for. I mean, we saw it with Darnold. Like it isn't like Darnold is lights out. Like that receiver talent can make up for a subpar quarterback, and then you can just dish him later.
Well, here's the thing. I have a lot of
and his
respect for
his mobility matters too. McCarthy can run with the football. I'm not saying he's going to win any, marathons out there, but he's got good scramble abilities.
So where do y'all think like Kevin O'Connell is like as a coach in the league? Like
top 5.
I think he's excellent.
Top 5 easy.
This has been the struggle that I've had all off season. I am with you. I think Kevin O'Connell was one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
If he can make what were they calling what's his face?
Ghosts.
Like all these random people in Minnesota that have come through, Dobbs, Darnold, all of these guys, fantasy relevant, like off the street, like Dobbs was like QB6 like for 3 weeks in a row. And people were like, is he the guy? And it was like, no, he's terrible.
You know why? And can I just say, like, I think because they all like Dobbs was weird, like they all had an elite trait, right? Like Dobbs was a really good runner.
Right.
Dobbs could run. Darnold, for all of his problems, is a pretty elite arm talent, right? Like he can throw the ball. Like
from the time he came out of college.
When you look at JJ McCarthy, what is he elite at other than handing the ball off?
Eye paint.
Really well. He's really good at turning and handing the ball to the running back.
But that's what I was getting at, where it's
but
like
that's all he was asked to do, though. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily his fault. I don't think we have the whole story.
Well, what I know of football coaches is if their quarterback can do more, they usually do. I don't know too many coaches who are like, you know what? I've got this elite quarterback, but what I'm going to do to try to trick everyone out is I'm not going to use them. And then I'm going to get drafted. I'm going to go to the NFL, and I'm not going to draft him. If he was that elite, he would have been drafted by the same guy.
But if Kevin O'Connell, if we're saying Kevin O'Connell is a top 5 guy and he traded up to get this dude, I have to trust his evaluation of it more than mine. And that's the struggle that I have right now.
I trust it. I think I think he made a mistake. I don't know how he is as a talent evaluator. Don't get me wrong. I think he's an elite play caller. I think he's an elite coach. I don't know how he is as a talent evaluator. He seems to do really well with the wide receivers. We've yet to see him really knock it out of the park with quarterback yet. This is his first drafted quarterback.
Yeah, so we'll see. But that's been the battle that I've had. Is it's like I don't like JJ, but I love KOC. So I feel like
I love Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin couldn't pick a quarterback if it fell on him. So
I mean, Tomlin the GM is terrible. Tomlin the coach is great.
Talk come from the Steelers fan. Okay, moving us along. We got to make sure we hit these questions. Yes, I love this show because as we get more into the season, it's like we just can't keep up with the chat and as everybody delivers content takes. So remember, if you're tuned in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop your questions in the chat. Next hit was talking about so we'll get back to what's your one bowl prediction for fantasy this year, because one got dropped, and that was from Goyati. He said Higgins is going to ball out. And then everybody else, Higgins will surpass Nico Collins end of the year or beginning of 2026. And once Nico gets hurt, Higgins will be wide receiver 1. Look, I'm here. I hear you laughing, Sam. I'm not that.
I'm laughing at Joe.
That is absurd. No, mute that. That's no.
Look, hold on. Time out. Are we really that far off that the wide receiver 2 for the Texans cannot be as effective? No, come on, be real. It's going to be Higgins.
It's not
100%.
Are we sure?
Yes.
I'm sure. Yes. I am sure.
I think Higgins could lose that job to his teammate eventually.
To who?
Noel?
Yeah.
Jalen Noel?
No way.
No. You're talking Christian Kirk could lose the slot role to Jalen Noel.
Yeah. You're not talking about Jaden Higgins. No.
Whatever we're talking about, we better not be really talking about Jaden Higgins overtaking Nico Collins, because I want whatever the commenter who said that is smoking up, because my goodness, that's an insane take. Like, that's burning. That's so far beyond Hut. That's like,
I think Nico Collins is heavily overrated personally.
Brother, I will trade. Find a league where I will trade for Nico Collins from you. Either of you, brother, come on. You wouldn't get
him from me because I wouldn't have drafted him to begin with.
Look, we're not doing this. Jaden Higgins versus Nico Collins. Jaden Higgins better catch a pass before we even put his name in the same sentence as Nico Collins.
Look, similar draft spots in the NFL draft. Like, Nico wasn't a top-rated wide receiver.
Yes. N'Keal Harry, number 27. Hall
of
Fame.
No. Sure. No, we're not talking about that in relevance. Like, what we're saying is, like, they're very similar profiling wide receivers. Nico has had trouble staying on the field. And so I don't think that it's that far off. In fact, Nico has not played a full season yet. So I don't think it's that far off that Jaden Higgins could put up. Now, if Tank Dell can put up the numbers, Jaden Higgins can put up the numbers.
All right, so we're very clearly left side, right side tonight on this.
No.
Can Jalen Noel?
Look, it's not.
And then there's Sam talking about Jalen Noel.
There's no world where I say, okay, Jaden Higgins rightfully just totally smokes Nico this season. No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. But for me, especially at draft value, right? If you said, Tyler, do you want Nico or do you want Jaden Higgins? I want Jaden Higgins because I think he can still have 1,000 yards, and I want somebody else in the place of Nico. But that's me.
That wasn't the comment, though. The comment was Jaden Higgins will be the wide receiver 1 over Nico Collins.
Sure, semantics.
Which I've worked on dementia units with people who have said things that made more sense than that. Like, I mean, that is an insane take.
Look, Nico is he said Nico doesn't play 17
I'm
hard
tired
to trust.
of that argument.
You know what they said that about too? DeMarco Murray.
Oh God, we're going back.
I mean, Nico was on his way. He was on his way to top 3. That was through 6 games.
Hey man, people are drafting Rashee Rice on 3 games, so I mean, let it happen.
Well, Nico only made it through 5 games before, or really 4.5 games before he missed the next 5. And then came back and
but he was on his way to leading the league.
He did start hot.
Weren't you just glazing up CMC like a Krispy Kreme 5 minutes ago?
Dude, I love it. All right, let's see here. Nico has been okay. So we're gonna move on from the Nico Jaden Higgins take. Although I think it's a good conversation. It's fun. And that's what the offseason does to us. I'm gonna make sure we hit this. We'll come back to the drop your one bold prediction for fantasy. Stay tuned at the end of the show. So in the next 10 minutes, we'll go around and we'll drop the bold prediction for each one of us. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you get your friends here because it's probably going to be hot stuff, I imagine.
I just want to say that my bold prediction I thought of before the show. I don't want you to think something in the show influenced me.
Okay, so it has something to do with somebody in the show. Got it. Okay, so back to kind of off-season banter here. The Raiders. Okay. Mm-hmm. They sign Amari Cooper. They bring Amari Cooper home. Jacoby Myers, who has been everybody's Mr. Consistency, has been everybody's fairy tale wide receiver for the Raiders this season, and they've been drafting him at what his cost probably should have been the last few seasons instead of at the value. But asked for a trade, right?
Yep.
You got the emergence of Deonte Thornton, And we've seen flashes of Trey Tucker. And, of course, you have the draft hype of Jack Besh. What do we make of the Raiders? And if you have to take one, if you have to take a receiver that's going to get the ball delivered all season from Geno, and it can't be Brock Bowers or Michael Mayer, because I think they run a lot of double tight end, just like the Bears will this season. But which wide receiver do you want? Start us out, Joe.
Listen, man, we already talked about this on Judge Jody. We are whores from high floors here in the Frick House, and we will be drafting Jacori Myers. I don't think that he gets traded. He's a little bit disgruntled. He wants some more money, but I mean, at the price you're getting him, the upside that you're getting from Geno Smith, I'm not worried about Jack Besh. I'm not worried about all of these rookies. Like, we're fine here. He's going to be kind of like the slot merchant, PPR kind of king. He's not going to win you weeks, but he's going to help you not lose them. So give me my boy all day, Jacori Myers.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm going Jacori Myers, and it's not really close. There's no one really else that I'm worried about. I really appreciate you taking Michael Mayer off the table. That was really a weight off my shoulders that I didn't have to pick him in this conversation. Forgot he played at all. I will never forgive the New England Patriots for thinking Jacori Myers was asking for too much money at $33 million over 3, and then turning and giving that exact same contract to Juju Smith-Schuster. Just a stroke of brilliance out of Bill Belichick, who has just ever since that moment been on an absolute tear, just one good decision after another. Big fan. Yeah, it's Jacori Myers, and then that's kind of it. So yeah, give me that.
Sam?
Yeah, it has to be Jacori. I love Dante Thornton. I really, really am excited about him, but he's a field stretcher. And Amari Cooper is just, he's cooked. So, and he's a jerk. So, I don't really see how you can choose anybody. And Trey Tucker, I don't think is an NFL player. Jacori Myers is pretty much it. He's last man standing.
Oh, it's going to be a rough season for the Raiders.
It's going to be ugly.
They're running the ball anyway.
Look. This is who I want out of that receiving group, especially in best ball. I want Thornton, and I know he is very one-dimensional, but he's big, he's fast, he gives me Will Fuller vibes, and if I get a even 5, 40, 50-yard touchdown bombs during the season, I'm happy. And during the preseason, what was thrown to him? Those balls. Now, granted, the quarterback, the second-string quarterbacks and stuff weren't connecting, right? Like they weren't placing. Hopefully, Geno can place better, but those are what were being thrown his direction. And
Geno is a sneaky good deep ball guy too.
He's exceptionally accurate.
Yeah.
And so, I want that, especially because he's costing me like a 15th round pick in my draft. He's costing me a 16th round pick in my draft. He is. I'm drafting in almost all of my drafts, and this gets back to the bold predictions. But
sorry, that was about the chat. That wasn't about you. I agree with you.
In my last 2 rounds, I've taken Thornton and Hopkins in every single redraft league. Thornton Hopkins, 15, 16.
I take a different 2 guys, but I take 2 guys at the end in every single one of mine too.
All right, so Josh said rate this 12-man, 2 flex, PPR, Lamar, Hampton, Harvey, AJ Brown, Jay Jettis, Laporta, Diggs, Travis Hunter. I like it. Hopefully the rookie running backs prosper.
That's a lot of rookies.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot given.
I'm okay with the you've got help for Hunter, right? You've got 3 veteran wide receivers there. You've got Lamar that can help make up a little bit of the gap between other quarterbacks and your running back room. But if those running backs don't hit, or if it takes RJ Harvey a while, I think you got the wide receivers to maybe get you over the hump while they get going. but it's kind of scary having my main two guys being brand new rookies into the league, into the NFL, and not knowing what's going to happen. I think they're going to get used, but the other part that comes to that is not just usage, but how they handle the usage and how they handle the tear on the body and the works, because getting hit in college and getting hit in the NFL consistently by much higher end players that are trying to take your head off is just another dynamic that you have to think about, and another weight on just wear and tear on the body. My thoughts. Anybody else? We got to get through. We're getting
just look at just look at how the numbers usually work out. I mean, if you just take two rookies that are running backs, even though they were highly touted coming out of college, take two of them, the chances of both of them booming their first season are really, really few and far between. That just doesn't happen very often. It's like, I mean, they might still both be eventually solid backs, but putting all your eggs in that basket on one season is always a little trepidatious.
Yeah. All right, so moving on, we got throw this one to you, Steve. Traded Flowers for Pearsall and Debo. Did I win?
No.
Oh, what?
No.
Flowers sucks.
Flowers doesn't suck. He does.
Well, his situation sucks.
Flowers sucks. He doesn't suck. He's a good route runner. He's a good player. At some point, I think he's just gotten more and more involved in that offense. He's getting a higher target share. Mark Andrews is slowing down. Isaiah Likely's injured. Debo's 100. He had one good season, and we're all still riding the high off of that. And Ricky Pearsall is most famous for being shot. That's the most significant thing he's contributed to the NFL so far. So I mean, it's not like he traded him for really anything that you want. So at that point, Zay Flowers is the guy that you want. I don't mean that in a really disrespect. It's just that's the truth. I got to shout out my boy Seth over at IBT because he is such a Ricky Pearsall fan. And he's always, I'm like, why? And he's like, because it's such a good story, man. And I'm like, you got to have a better reason for wanting the guy than it's a good story.
Here's the reason why I would do this trade. I like Flowers. I think Flowers is good. Flowers had over 1,000 yards receiving last year. I like Flowers. I like Pearsall. Pearsall, the first glimpse that we got of him when he really started getting used based on injuries was towards the end of the season, and he had a touchdown in both those games. He had over 140 yards receiving in one, 70 the other, but still had a touchdown. And that receiving core is thinned out. That's why everybody is, balling out on Kittle this year. So I think that he's a young talent. I think that he does have ability, and I think that he's successful. If it's a win now deal, I also want this because I think Debo slides in with some heavy usage this year for Washington.
I would put money down that Debo doesn't sniff 1,000 yards this year.
I don't think it's necessarily 1,000, but I think he could go for 750 and get more touchdowns.
So
I would think Flowers over Debo, but
I think Debo could outrush Bill Merritt.
Wow. Talk about a bold
I'm
take.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just don't know what we're seeing. Am I missing something with Ricky Pearsall that everyone else is everyone's yeah, but he's a young player. I'm like, Zay Flowers is 1 year older. It's not like Zay Flowers has been in the league for 17 years.
It's because
Feels
Lamar
like
had. So here's a couple of things. Lamar had over a 7% touchdown per attempt percentage rate last year. So he's likely going to have touchdown regression. They're also a run first team. And like Tyler mentioned, San Francisco doesn't really have a lot of options outside of Ricky Pearsall. If you look at what he did in the last couple of games of 2024, yes, it kind of took him a lot to kind of get things going. But if you kind of look at the game log, he really boomed in the last 3 weeks, and they were finding ways to get him touches. So for me, it was all right, I like the San Francisco offense. I like what they're doing, but in his last 2 games, he went 10 targets, 8 receptions, 141 and a touchdown. Against Arizona, 8 targets, 6 receptions, 69 yards, nice, and a touchdown. So it's like if he's going to be a
Against
focal
who?
point of that offense, Detroit and Arizona.
And
Okay, so
Detroit's
Detroit
good.
probably resting their players and had a defense that there was no one healthy on it, and Arizona, who also had nothing to play for.
But you also have to trust Shanahan's ability to scheme.
The
people
Lions
up.
didn't rest anybody. They were
They
trying to
shouldn't
get pole
I
position.
trust
But the
Shanahan,
Vikings-
but like at some point Ayuk will come back. At some point Jennings will sign his contract. At some point, like if CMC is healthy and George Kittle stays healthy, like that, all of a sudden Pearsall is the number 3, right? Like, and it's just going to happen so fast. Like Zay Flowers is the number 1 receiver in Baltimore, and there's no competition for him.
Look, if we can get hype
That doesn't say much.
if we can get hype on Juwan Jennings, like he's that man didn't have his first 4 seasons he never got inside the top 90 at wide receiver. Like, you know, if we can get it, there's no world in my opinion where Juwan Jennings is better than Ricky Pearsall. Like
No.
he was a product of needing anybody to step
He was
up.
a role player.
Yeah,
A
and
role
so
Wait, that's the exact same situation that Ricky Pearsall stepped into at the end of the season.
But
They just
Pearsall's better.
Why? Jennings did better.
Jennings played 15 games. He had 113 targets, 77 catches, 975 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's his best season in his entire 6-year career. No other year did he cross 450 yards in receiving.
Isn't he a
Pearsall,
quarterback?
in his first year, caught 400 on not even a full slate of games. He only played 11 games officially, but a lot of those were partial games. And
So, I'm sorry, I can't get excited over a 400-yard season. I don't care how many games he
no,
played.
no,
unless it was
you
one.
can't. But it's how many like if you take standard metrics, like if we look at a rookie player, if a rookie player goes for, like if you look at CD, you look at T Higgins, you look at these players, if they go for 800 yards and a few touchdowns, you're excited. Like they've got potential to really break out, right? And so for him playing essentially half a season and hitting those metrics, like if he plays a full season, it's 800 yards and 6 or 7 touchdowns. So you're looking at him in the same light. And all I'm saying is I like Zay Flowers, but if I'm going to win now, I wouldn't mind having Debo and Pearsall. And I think Pearsall is going to get lit up this season. And maybe that means for you, Steve, it's a trade away. Like when he does go off and he has those first 3-4 big games, maybe you deal him in Dynasty because you don't believe in the overall talent. But I do think in redraft you have some possibility there that's at least worth it. And we didn't ask if that trade was redraft or Dynasty. But for the sake of trying to get through these last few questions when we're at our time now, we've got to move on. We'll try to hit these 3 here real quick. Cosmic said, what do you think of this trade? Full PPR. I get AJ Brown, Rashid, JCM. I give Bucky Olave and Jordan Addison. My starters right now are Gibbs and Bucky at running back, MHJ, Sutton, and Olave. I don't like it. Maybe I'm the only one of them that doesn't. Well, I say that. I am a running back heavy player. Like I prioritize owning a running back that is full spectrum or like at least a 3-down type guy. And I don't know that I also am not high on Rashid. And I get pummeled for it. People, dog me for it. I'm not high on Rice. I don't want him.
But like you're trading the suspended boys right now. Like, what are we doing?
Sure, but you're both of them are suspended.
Right.
One's just suspended longer than the other.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Rashid Rice.
I like Rashid Rice. I like his situation. He's tied to Mahomes. He's tied to Andy Reid. That's great. Give me that all day. Chris Olave, we know the concussion issues. Jordan Addison's a number 2 receiver on his own team. And Bucky Irving, I mean, he's good, but like he's not, AJ Brown could be way better.
This is what I'm doing with Rashee Rice. I'm taking
I don't
all
like
the
AJ
hype
Brown.
of what he was and the week that he is to come back from his suspension. I am trading him on pure just the adrenaline junkies that are living for what he could be. I am dealing him, and I'm probably going to get somebody real nice because it's like one of those like hype narratives. Follow the trends, right?
Isn't
Go
it
ahead,
his
Sam.
first game back against the Raiders?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to deal him, bro, and I might get Nico for him, okay? Like, it's going to be crazy.
You mean Jaden Higgins?
It's gonna be crazy what the take is.
I don't think I would make that trade.
Some people might because you got to think if without
He would have been a second round pick without the suspension.
Exactly, which is where Nico's going, second round.
The issue I see with Rice is that if he misses time and the Chiefs look good on offense, which there's a real chance they could because Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, all that stuff, right? If they look good and he comes back, they're not going to like change everything they're doing to like suddenly start working him into being the wide receiver one. They're not going to break. They're not going to fix what's not broken. I'm saying if they look good, if they're like, hey, we're crushing it, they're not just going to be like, we'll change our entire offensive philosophy to make sure that this guy gets all the targets. They'll just work him in with it, and he won't see the same target share that he saw last year. That's what concerns me. Now, if they come out flat, if you have Rashee Rice, you can basically ask for the King's ransom for him.
Yes. And I will get the King's ransom and I will celebrate.
I have so many Rice
I will drink beers for days. No, okay. Mr. Vengeance, last question of the thing. And if you're tuned in, thank you for sticking with us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Trade James Cook and Stafford for Mahomes and K9, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Every day, twice on Sunday.
I would agree just for the quarterback. I mean, I like Stafford. Stafford's a gamer, but Stafford is definitely on the struggle bus. I mean, right now he's getting freaking, needles in the back just to be able to.
Bro got an epidural. Like, come on.
Yeah, to get on the field. So I mean, that's definitely we're getting to the end of Stafford's career. Mahomes I think he still has a good bit of time. And I mean, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, I like. They're kind of in the same tier to me. Like Walker's better.
Yeah.
I like Walker as a better running back, but he comes with the injury concerns, which kind of bring him back down to the James Cook arena, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Those two guys are interchangeable for me. As far as
if Walker does stay healthy, he's the better player, though.
What's that?
Yeah.
If Walker stays healthy, he's the better player because he's the better pass catcher.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But like he was saying, with the health factor and everything, the two of them, if I see them back to back in a draft, like I might as well just close my eyes and point, and just whichever one I point closer to is who I'll take.
Millie, my guy cutting up out here. Come on, man. This show is
it's a family channel, man. Come on.
We're live on the radio right now. Good thing I didn't read that one out loud. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for tuning in, Millie. It's always a pleasure. Well, look, we're gonna give each person 15 seconds, and we're gonna close out the show. All right, so I'll give you 20 seconds to drop your bold take on the season. It has to be real bold. I don't need to hear Saquon finishes RB1 again after the curse and breaks the curse of the 300. That's not what I need to hear. I need to hear like something juicy. Joe, you've got the mic ready, so I'm going to let you start us off. We'll go Joe, Steve, Sam, and I'll finish it out.
All right, I got 3 for you. So I got Jalen Warren over Caleb Johnson. I got Justin Fields, top 6 quarterback, and I have DJ Moore, wide receiver 15 or better.
All of them are okay except for the Fields take.
I'll give you 3. Teteroa McMillan is solidly in the top 10 at wide receiver this year. Joining him there is Jalen Waddle. in the top 10. And then Keon Coleman is going to easily break into the top 20 of wide receivers this season.
Top 20 for Keon Coleman.
The wide receiver 15 to like 40 is such a wasteland. I have no idea what to do with it. So it could happen.
I also have Derrick Henry ranked as my RB 15.
Ooh. Pending injury, or you think he's just not productive?
It's like if everybody stays healthy across the board, he is running back 15.
Oh, wow.
It's my first year ever being out on Derrick Henry.
That's bold.
These are bold.
I like that. All right. I guess I have to do 3 as well then. The first one, which I was always going to say, is Drake London will lead the NFL in catches pretty comfortably.
No, just Steve over there like
I wanted to say earlier, there's a couple times I've sent Steve DMs about like something I saw about Drake London, like, hey, I thought you might like this.
That's awesome.
So all right, so that's one. The other one is Roma Dunze not only will lead the Bears in catches and yards, but he will probably crack the top 15 in the league. You're talking about a guy that last year, I mean, the percentage of throws downfield, the percentage of targets in the red zone, the percentage of, you know what I mean? Like they were going after him constantly. So I everybody's forgetting about him. And he was in that conversation with Neighbors and Marvin last year. I had one other one, but I don't remember what it was.
I'd like to go back to, I think you laid out your third one, that he's in the same conversation as Neighbors and Marvin. What? The alphabet? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? No,
What?
he's not. Like, I mean, it's like, oh, all the throws, all the catches. Did he get a new quarterback? What happened? Like, did he suddenly learn how to jump 10 feet in the air? Like,
Look,
What are you talking about?
he's not good. And Caleb Williams isn't good. Like, that's the problem.
look on this show.
But I said when they were coming out of college, the three of them were all in the same conversation.
I mean, they were all what, top 10, top 12?
Look, you know what I love about the show? I love that people can disagree and it's fun and it's okay. And hopefully you audience, you can gather your facts and make your own decisions based on this this nonsense. It's always a good time. And look, that's the part of bold takes. Look, if Sam, if you're saying a take and Steve's not over there going, then it's probably not bold.
Yeah, it's not that bold.
Yeah,
That's why
you know,
it's bold.
it's not that bold.
Holly, you got to give us one, bro.
I'll just stick with the Drake London then.
No, they're all good. I don't know if I can do three. I'll
Give us one good one to end the night.
well, you know where I'm going to go with that.
Traylon Burks?
No, I already told you. DeAndre Hopkins, 707 touchdowns. Get him in the last round of your draft. At least 700 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns, barring injury.
Can you just put Millie Mills' last comment back up in the chat? Because that's how I feel about DeAndre Hopkins.
Look, that's okay. I'm good with it. I told you, Lamar has never had a go up and get it contested catch wide receiver in his career. He hasn't. They're all like slot guys or Mark Andrews, right? He hasn't had.
Mark Andrews can't get up, but he will get it.
And he's got that guy. If you listen to Lamar's interviews, when reporters go, so you got D-Hop here, what do you think about him? And he's like, every time he looks at the camera wide-eyed, and he's like, that guy's crazy. Like that guy does.
DeAndre Hopkins earlier this offseason talk about how like cheeks it is being in Baltimore. Didn't he like not like it?
It doesn't matter. He's playing with Lamar, and he likes playing with Lamar. Nobody likes Baltimore. Baltimore's
He's 800
like
years
Memphis.
old. I love DeAndre Hopkins, but he's not like
That's okay. He doesn't have
He's still
to.
not go up and get it wide receiver. He used to be. He's like 6 feet tall.
All right, I got my third bold prediction
do
since the other one wasn't bold enough for Steve.
I thought it was bold.
Screw your Devon Chain. Ollie Gordon is going to lead that team in rushing and be the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins.
That's an injury bet.
From here on out.
That's an injury bet. That doesn't count.
Here's the thing.
I like Tyler. I like all of your guys' hot takes. I like those.
The Hopkins.
That's what they should.
Why do you look like you're lying?
I'll give you another one. My quarterback target this season at the end of drafts has been, and I think could push top 10 this season, has been Trevor Lawrence. And
that's not bold at all.
I thought you could say like Aaron Rodgers.
Trevor Lawrence in top 10 is not bold. He's being drafted like quarterback like 18
Hasn't
or
he
20.
like never done it? Like I feel like that's pretty bold.
I think his best has been 13.
That's pretty bold then.
I think there's a lot of people getting on the Trevor Lawrence train right now.
I've been on it. But see, here's the thing. I'm happy. I've been
train.
saying these takes for a while. Like, freaking Isaac Tesla. I said that in like pre-draft. You look at in fact, Joe was on this show when I said when I said back a while back, like way before Mixon's injury came out, that Nick Chubb was the target late in the draft, that he would end up having that running back room.
Nick Chubb is cooked.
Well, he's got the running back room. He's been announced as the starter.
No, he doesn't.
Mixon, who's it going to be? Dameon Pierce?
No. I think it'll be Woody.
It's going to be Ramondre Stevenson.
Although I don't know if you saw my tweet today, I was like, how mad is our fantasy football managers going to be when Dare Ogunbowale runs away with that job in Houston?
Nick Chubb, I mean, watching him last year, he ran with like cement shoes. Like that dude, if you threw him in the mob could toss him in a river and not have to put an ounce of effort into it. Like that dude's sinking right to the bottom.
It's okay. I'm good with it. I'll take him in the last round of my drafts all season. Well, you can't get him there now, but I was drafting him there before.
He'll be a goal line back at best.
Even in that scenario, are you mad about it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I hate him.
Because you don't have him on your team, and you're like, dang it, Nick Chubb had 2 touchdowns this week and freaking only got 5 carries. No, it's fine. All right, so we got to round this thing out. It's 10:15. Appreciate everybody tuned in. Big Draft Energy giving Santa Claus or Judge Jody or Dapper Dan Man, whatever he shows up in each week, some love. Hey, real quick, guys, if you would just let everybody know Steve, Sam, let everybody know where they can find your content, where they can hook up with you if they want to check out some of your other shows before we tune out. Go ahead.
Absolutely. You can find my written content on Player Profiler. I will have a couple weekly series all through the season. There's also a spinoff show on the Player Profiler Now network called Fantasy Whiplash. That is every Tuesday at 9:00, and we go through all of it. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at one word, buy and sell you. Hit me up.
Yeah, and you can find me. All my work's over at In Between Media. They're at IBT_media, and I am at Steve_Lawson. You'll see a lot of entertainment stuff out of me. I love talking about movies and TV shows. So that's mostly what I do over at IBT. But if you follow my Twitter, I'm pretty active in the fantasy space. I love talking about it. And you'll catch me on Tuesday nights on In Between Media's YouTube on their fantasy football podcast.
Awesome. It's me and Joe here every week, 9:00 Central. Come party with us next week. For week 1, we'll be post Thursday Night Football, but leaning into Sunday, and we're excited for a crazy week 1. You guys have a great week. Hope your drafts finish up good. I've got my main home league draft tomorrow night. And we've already put out cots for the drunken bodies that will be littered all over our property. It's going to be a good time. Enjoy the community. Enjoy your drafts. Hope you have a good season. We'll see you next week. Later.
See you.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com.